Hey, peace world. Thanks for pressing play on another Pay Me No Mind sports and entertainment video. My name is Wood. Man, a lot of music came out last Friday, by the way. Food for Thought by Shay Noir being one of the big ones. RJ Payne, Beautiful Pain was another release that was out there. V Don, the producer, had a compilation album that came out. A couple others out there. So I got tons of music to review and get around to. I really appreciated that the Food for Thought album, quality record album, LP, or whatever you want to call it. Anyway, getting into this boxing, man, I am very, very, very concerned about the state of boxing in 2022. I know we have a couple of decent fights that have to happen. The rematch with AJ and Usyk being one. Whatever gets ironed out for Fury being another, I would imagine. Spence and you guys got to get it on. This lawsuit from Terrence Crawford, I'm very concerned that him at 34 years old, one, he's holding up a title. And then after that, I don't see that being anything that gets wrapped up in 1 year. So I'm wondering, if an important figure is just inactive this year. But anyway, this weekend, Saturday, we have a fight coming up at Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'm somewhat excited about it. I've said it before, I'm not that I'm a boxing purist or anything, but I just look for good matchups that can be made and enjoy, a good night of boxing. I don't need all the biggest names in the world to be on there as long as the matchmaking is pretty decent. It's some guys that have some stuff to fight for, guys trying to climb up the rungs and whatnot. I'm in. I've been excited before for a mid-level fight or a mid-level card. I want to say maybe Zepeda and Josue Vargas was one I might have been excited for. And then, Sunday morning, there was nothing really to talk about. I don't know if it was that one or was it the sniper Pedraza and Julian Rodriguez, another young guy at 140. Maybe it was that card. But, going into those weeks, I'm excited. It's a lineup that's pretty deep. And I'm thinking I'm going to see some decent action. And then it's been some cards on, it's been some PBC cards. It's been some cards on the zone that were some mid-grade, mid-level fights. And, Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, it was pretty forgettable. But anyway, this weekend we have Robeson, Conceição, and Xavier Martinez. I was wondering why I didn't remember the Conceição's fight against Oscar Valdez, the WBC 130-pound champion. And the reason I didn't remember it was because I didn't watch it because of all of the controversy around the failed A sample, I think the B sample too, and then the Native American, the reservation that the fight happened on, they overrode the findings of the year analysis or whatever, and they said another organization really had the authority or whatever, or should have been responsible for the testing and whatnot. So I didn't even watch the fight. That's why I don't remember the Conceição and Oscar Valdez, which was a decision after destroying Miguel Burchell. So then we have Xavier Martinez coming over from previously being on the Money Team roster or Mayweather Promotions roster. Seemed like things got went a little cold for him after the Claudio Marrero fight where he was knocked down 2 times in the 8th round. For some reason, Marrero, being that he really needed that victory, he kind of let it go to the cards. The 9th and 10th round, he eased up. Martinez, recovered a little bit and came back and did pretty good and whatnot, but I just didn't understand why he didn't try to take the young lion out. Xavier Martinez came back and got another decision against Juan Carlos Burgos, maybe. And now he's moved on. So that's the main event, WBC 130-pound WBC Eliminator. Which I don't know how Conceição, if he wins, you don't just get right back in line, I would imagine. But that's the main event. I am very interested in this kid in the co-main, Renee Taylor-Giron against Luis Melendez. Giron took out Carlos. I just forget that kid's lad. Carlos was over on PBC when he got knocked out by Giron. And now both of them are fighting over here on Top Rank on ESPN and whatnot. So I want to see, was that just a bad night for Carlos, which was the end of his run over on PBC? Or, and is there some chance for those guys, a little revenge in the future? Carlos did come over to Top Rank in his debut and had a big knockout. And really, just talked about rededicating his career and whatnot, so on and so forth. And but anyway, so that's the 10 o'clock ESPN portion of the night. I think Conceição and Xavier Martinez, Martinez was putting dudes away when he on the way to like flirting with becoming a contender. He was getting some guys out of there in the first round, early in fights and whatnot, and was looking like he might be a thing. He might become a thing. A lot of bodies, lot of talent at 130. So he still got something to fight for. Conceição can't lose again. So I'm thinking it's going to be some solid boxing. Good competition. I just want to see good competition. We just saw the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. Awesome competition. I just want to see some competition. Also on this card, a lot of newcomers for Top Rank. Delonte Tiger Johnson out of Ohio. Bruce Carrington out of New York. Two USA boxing guys right there. Nico Ali Walsh. That wasn't a pun. That was not an intended or unintended pun. Nico Ali Walsh. I think it's dope that he's back on ESPN Plus. I think Top Rank was putting a little too much pressure on the young man. He's just not. He's really raw. Let that man work through the process. There's no cutting the corners and all of that type stuff and trying to capitalize off of the NIL of the greatest. Stop playing with. Leave that alone. Also on there is newcomer out of Ohio, Cleveland area, I believe, Dante Free Smoke Benjamin Jr., light heavyweight, standout amateur right there. He just signed with Top Rank not too long ago, so I'm looking forward to his debut. He's not going to fight anybody, really. Bruce Carrington, it's only his second fight. He's not really, him and Tiger Johnson, both of them are going into their second fights. This is all the ESPN Plus action, by the way, starting at 6 p.m. Then that probably will be headlined by heavyweight Jeremiah Milton, who's just 3-0. But that's kind of my interest on the night, is Jeremiah Milton. Last time he was on ESPN, he knocked dude out on his feet and was getting ready to clean him up and saw that dude was like frozen in motion or whatever. And he was like pointed at the referee to get him. So I want to see what Jeremiah Milton does. He's probably some years away, but that's very interesting. What's up in the air right now, unfortunately for me, is heavyweight Stephen Shaw, big shot out of St. Louis. He's also fighting this same night. He's 15-0, 16-0 now. I don't even know who Shaw's opponent is right now. It's not looking like he's going to be on the ESPN Plus portion of the card, but I think, if they could let the Trey Lippe, whatever his name is, Tommy Morrison's, who's that, his son? If he can get on the card and get televised as mediocre as he looked the last two times I saw him on TV or ESPN Plus, Stephen Shaw deserves to be in front of the cameras. So I'm a little bummed about that. Jeremiah Milton is fighting Jason Bergman, who's like 17 and 27 or something. That might have been the dude that Lippy fought last time out, or next to last time out. Matter of fact, now that I think about it, but yeah, it would be really dope if we could see Stephen Shaw. If you remember last year, he was supposed to fight on NBC TV, NBC Sports TV. When Ring City USA was over there putting fights on. Jermaine Franklin came down with COVID. That fight was scrapped. And then a couple weeks later, the scheduled fight between Charles Conwell and the Gulov or something is his name, from New York. That card got canceled, and then Ring City USA went away. I haven't heard anything from him. So the other kid that's fighting Saturday night is Haven Brady. Haven Brady might only be 1-0, 2-0, no more than 3-0. So he's also on there. So a lot of action, a lot of listening to Tim Bradley, breaking down fights and talking about this young talent. Like I said, man, I'm hoping that the co-main and main event can be good action, well contested, hard fought. That's about what I'm looking for. Again, ESPN Plus at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. ESPN 10 p.m. Eastern Time for the ESPN action. It's going down Saturday, Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Tulsa. Like I said, man, it's good to check in with all of these guys. The progress or progression for Johnson and Carrington, as well as Nico Ali Walsh, his opponent, I think he had a pretty bad record, to be honest. So they probably stepping him back a little bit, not really tarnishing. Once the internet gets involved and boxing fans start weighing in and creating a narrative for a kid, it's quite obvious the hopes, what the hope is for Top Rank and for the young man. But again, it's hard to cut some corners in developing, so no need to rush the guy. I think ESPN Plus every 2 or 3 months is a perfect place for Nico Ali Walsh to be. Let the man learn how to live. Anyway, Bite Down Boxing. Looking forward to getting some content up over there this weekend, most likely. But Bite Down Boxing, don't let them count you out. Pay me no mind. Sports and entertainment. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great.